I get a lot of questions about what to do about this situation, that situation, how to deal with the restlessness of the mind, and all these questions about the spiritual path. And these questions are really important, they are, but much more important than this is why? Why do you seek these things? A quick answer can be given, and is always given, that it is for freedom. But what does this freedom means for you? And this is what is important. It's what it means for you. Because I always make a very clear distinction between seekers of truth and seekers of well-being. You see? Um, Only to understand that what you are really seeking for, and this is being shown by your actions, this makes a big difference, you see? Because for most seekers, freedom means a better dream, a better life, better relationships, better conditions. This is what it means. It is circumstantial happiness. And as long as you are looking for circumstantial happiness, freedom as a means and not an end in itself, then this is what I call a seeker of well-being. And for these seekers, there's a lot of out there, a lot of things that have been tried, to be tried, and all these new things are coming. For the seeker of truth, there's not too much new things coming. You see, language changes, but the quest remains more or less the same. But if you're a seeker of well-being, you see, and you have religions, you have philosophies, anything, depending on your motivation, can be used either for keeping you more in prison or for freedom. That depends solely on you. So the time you spend evaluating what masters are saying, different masters, what different teachings are, which one is the best, this is useless. First you have to examine your motivations, you see? And and this is all the way through. There's no stopping in these evaluations because the body, the mind, they are all programmed for survival, for a better way of everything, a better way of life, improvement of thought, everything. It is for survival, not for freedom. So all these teachings, they will have different meanings according to your motivation, you see? So they are not absolute in nature. So this distinction has to come, you see, because at this point, there is a big movement about spirituality, apparently, and most of it is about just for a better dream, you see? So all the way through, these needs to improve life, these needs of truth for a better life, they will always keep coming, and it is up to you, up for the seeker of truth, to always be uprooting them, endlessly uprooting them, because they will keep on coming, especially if conditions are there for this. And you don't need too much special conditions for this, because this is the program. It is always coming back, coming back. So the teachings that you will go through for the seeker of truth, and this is I make always clear because of these things, and my words are always for the seeker of truth. So whenever you hear these teachings about improving life, well, this is not really in your best interest, you see? So now we see a lot of seekers of well-being spreading around everywhere, and with them, teachers of well-being, masters of well-being, you see? So for the seeker of truth, this will only make him more confused, because as a seeker of truth, his human nature is there and pulling him towards human investments, human happiness, bodily happiness. It is there. Acceptance, fears, everything is there. So, but within there's also a kind of being tired of all of this, a kind of not belonging, uh, a kind of loneliness, a kind of suffering, unexplainable suffering. But still, he looks around and he looks for examples for him. And now he has two struggles. First struggle is to get out from the mundane world, to leave these investments behind. Now the new struggle comes into the spiritual world, into these spiritual places, because he will be facing a lot of seekers of well-being with the same investments that were there before, but with spiritual information. Information, not knowledge, information. So the same struggle will come again, because he has to step aside from all of this. So it is, in a way, these days, it is easy to see. As teachings comes for improving life, for you to have a peaceful life, for you to have a happy life, then you, as a seeker of truth, can know for sure that this has nothing to do with you. You see? So whenever you see these teachings and these smiling faces and poses and all of this, get away as fast as you can, because this does not respect the seriousness of the process of the seeker of truth, which is and will always be the most sacred thing um, that can be seen, experienced, lived. And this deserves respect. So as a seeker of truth, the most part of the time will be to uproot these needs of circumstantial happiness, of improving life. And as this motivation is there, what freedom can be there? You can be meditating, doing whatever, or doing nothing, depending on whatever you're following as guidance. But as long as this work, this spiritual work, is there for a better life in any way, then you're just collecting your fruits and sending them away, collecting them, throwing them away. So this goes nowhere. You see, if you look around now, what is really the difference between a seeker of truth or a seeker of well-being, or a spiritual person and a material person with mundane investments? Hmm? And then we make the distinction just for understanding. In fact is, these days, there's not much difference. You see, there's no difference at all if we look from higher grounds. But looking closely, you can find the difference. Maybe it is about some have spiritual information, others don't. But their investments are the same, their goals are the same, which is happiness, human happiness, happy life, good relationship, all of this. So no difference, you see? You look around and everybody is striving for happiness, for a happy life. Everybody is following what they believe that will take them there. Everybody, no distinction, because happiness is, you see? But the discovery, the realization that you will never, never be happy. You are happiness, which is quite different, quite different. Circumstances will always be there. Good, bad, it is relative of your point of understanding. And this has nothing to do with freedom. Absolutely nothing to do with freedom. So if your heart is longing for freedom, respect this. Take it seriously. Stop pretending. You see, because this has nothing to do with pretending. So these highest teachings, there's nothing to be done. They are true, but they have to be true for you. And while it isn't true, while you are still giving importance to all of these mundane things, the belief that you are the body, so the body needs to be accepted, needs to be loved, needs to be nurtured, needs to be protected, needs. As long as you believe in any of these needs, as long as you are making any of these efforts, then spiritual efforts have to be there also. Because if something is true for you, the other also is. When these investments are no longer important, this means you have cleared your fears, or the fears that were there. They no longer take importance. So now you're ready for this silence, for this stillness, for this nothing else is important. There's nothing to be done. Before this state, you're far away from this and you're just deluding yourself, you see? And there's no problem to delude yourself, but you're the one who's losing. And there is a great adventure in front of you, you see? So nothing never happened. Yes. There's no creation. Yes. Nothing exists. Yes. But still you find yourself there in the middle of all of this that doesn't exist. What does this mean? Hmm? Filling your mind with explanations robs you from the most important thing, which is the seeing. The seeing. A mind full of beliefs cannot see. It's not able to see. So the motivation start from the beginning. Even if you have been 40 years doing this, whatever, start from the beginning. Because if the process is not alive, if there's not guidance there, so a few steps have been left behind. Come back and do it again. At all times be vigilant with your motivations. Oh.